Welcome, dear Sagittarius, both those returning with loyal curiosity and those stumbling in for the first time to Zodiac Talks Tarot. Think of this space as less of a stage and more of a campfire where stories, wisdom, and a bit of cosmic mischief are shared. Now, I know comfort is a tricky word for you. For some people it means a blanket and tea. For Sagittarius it usually means a half-packed backpack, a one-way ticket to somewhere with questionable Wi-Fi, and at least 3 unfinished language apps. But today, the journey is inward, not on Expedia. We are talking about destiny, money, love, and yes, the kind of miracle that does not need a passport. And before you ask, no, I don't mean the miracle of pizza showing up 5 minutes early, though in the year of triumph 2025 I wouldn't rule that out either. What the cards show this September is not a polite nudge forward but a transformation, the kind that lights a fire under your feet and reminds you that stagnation is not in your DNA. Sagittarians are the universe's explorers, rebels with philosophy books tucked under one arm and a stubborn belief that the world is both playground and classroom. This month, your reading is a map not just of where you're going but who you are becoming. We'll speak of finances, the kind that give you freedom rather than chains, of relationships, where your generosity sometimes needs boundaries, of spiritual growth, where your laughter is as sacred as your prayers, and of karmic lessons, those heavy stones the universe loves to sneak into your backpack when you're not paying attention. So settle in, fellow travelers of the Zodiac. September holds a miracle for you, and the story begins here. When we turn to the heart of this reading, the first energy that makes its entrance is the Six of Swords. Now, for most signs, this would be about a gentle transition, a quiet journey from one shore to another. But for Sagittarius, moving on is never just about leaving a room, it's about changing continents, philosophies, or entire worldviews overnight. Give a Sagittarius a backpack, a half-charged phone, and a sudden epiphany, and they'll set off not only to a new city but to a new chapter of existence. The Six of Swords here is whispering that you are crossing a threshold, whether you realize it or not. Some of you are physically relocating, new home, new neighborhood, even a new country. Others are engaged in the subtler, but no less significant, work of shifting the soul, releasing toxic friendships, shedding work habits that no longer nourish you, or silencing that stubborn inner critic who still thinks you need permission to glow. And what's striking about this card is its tone. It doesn't scream. It doesn't kick down doors. It's not the teenage rebellion energy of slamming the bedroom door and blasting loud music. It's the quiet, almost ceremonial moment of closing a chapter with grace. You're not storming out, you're simply turning the page, picking up your bow and arrow, and aiming toward a horizon that feels more aligned with who you are becoming. In Buddhist philosophy, this is the art of non-clinging. Pain, the Buddha said, arises not from change itself, but from the stubborn fingers that refuse to let go. And Sagittarius, you're living this lesson in real time. The universe is asking you to trust the current, even if you don't see the far shore yet. From there, the reading shifts into material territory with the King of Pentacles, joined by the 9 and Page of Pentacles. If the Six of Swords is the traveler, the King of Pentacles is the builder who reminds you that even nomads need a place to pitch their tent. Together, these cards say that your material life is shifting in your favor. Not in the form of a lottery ticket falling into your lap, but as the harvest of seeds planted long ago. Maybe you once made a bold decision that didn't pay off immediately, a risky investment, a leap into a business, or a career path that made others raise their eyebrows. This September, those risks start bearing fruit. Negotiations arise, contracts are rewritten, mortgages recalibrated. Some of you will even renegotiate your living arrangements, whether that's lowering payments for breathing room or upgrading because, quite frankly, your income finally supports it. And then we see the dance of mentorship. The Page of Pentacles suggests youthful energy. Perhaps you'll be teaching, guiding, or inspiring someone who's still learning the ropes. Or perhaps you will encounter a King of Pentacles figure, someone older, established, steady, who steps in to mentor you, offering lessons grounded in experience. Life, after all, is not just about what we accumulate but what we transmit. You're stepping into the cycle of wisdom, giving and receiving, teaching and learning. Here's where it gets amusing. Sagittarians and spreadsheets go together about as well as oil and water. You love philosophy, big visions, grand adventures. You don't necessarily want to sit down and debate interest rates with your banker. And yet, the energy here is nudging you towards structure. The paradox is this: discipline isn't a prison, it's the key to freedom. The King of Pentacles doesn't appear to chain you down, but to remind you that a solid foundation is what allows the Sagittarius spirit to fly without crashing. A system built with care, whether that's a budget, a business plan, or a consistent habit, doesn't limit you, it liberates you. It means you can travel farther, dream bigger, and leap higher without worrying that the ground beneath you will collapse. So yes, while the rebel in you may roll its eyes at tax forms and neatly labeled folders, this energy is encouraging you to embrace the paradox. The more order you create, the more chaos you can joyfully dance with. That's the art of Sagittarius maturity, not giving up freedom, but building a life sturdy enough to hold it. When the conversation turns to love, Sagittarius, the cards paint a picture that feels almost like a boardroom negotiation disguised as romance. You, the eternal adventurer, often find yourself carrying far more than your fair share of the weight in relationships. You'll plan the trip, pack the snacks, double-check the passports, and still end up holding the map while your partner is busy asking if you packed their phone charger. Generosity is one of your strongest traits, but it's also where the imbalance creeps in. People start to lean on you not because they're helpless, but because you make competence look so easy. This month, though, the reading suggests conversations are coming, conversations that clarify roles and rebalance responsibility. Not the kind of shouting match where feelings get scorched, but the kind of dialogue where you gently but firmly say, "I love you, but I'm not your unpaid therapist, chef, and Uber driver. I'm your partner. Step up." It's a necessary wake-up call, and believe it or not, many of you will deliver it with humor. Sagittarius has that rare gift of turning even the most awkward truths into laughter, and this will help you communicate without pushing people away. For many, these talks won't just end with redistribution of chores, they'll ripple outward into deeper commitments. Engagements, moving in together, even merging finances could be on the table. And if you're single, the magnetic field around you is practically buzzing. Earth signs Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo are circling with steady, grounded energy. One might show their affection not through dramatic declarations, but with thoughtful acts, a well-chosen gift, consistent reliability, or simply the calm presence that makes you feel safe. But here's the warning: don't confuse gifts with growth. A bouquet of roses is lovely, but it doesn't pay off emotional debt. A weekend getaway is sweet, but it doesn't fix years of avoidance. Look at actions that align with promises, not the shiny objects meant to distract from them. And then, there is Temperance. Your very own card, Sagittarius, standing tall like a mirror of your higher self. When I pulled it, I couldn't help but smile. It's almost like the universe reminding you who you are. This card tells me you're not exiting relationships or situations in a blaze of drama. You're not throwing the ring into the soup or posting cryptic quotes on social media. Instead, you're walking away with dignity, with balance, with wisdom. Yes, some people in your orbit may still clutch at the past. An Aries might stew in resentment, or an Aquarius may hold on to their intellectual version of what really happened. But you, Sag, don't have the time or energy to live in someone else's narrative of blame. You've got bigger constellations to chase. Temperance is the reminder that what belongs will remain, and what leaves was never yours to hold. In Buddhist teaching, the river never clings to the rocks, it simply flows. That's you this September, the river itself, carrying wisdom forward, letting the old debris wash downstream. So, in love and life, you're negotiating, balancing, and flowing. Not by force, not by fear, but by remembering that your truest strength is this: you know how to move forward without losing your center. And that, Sagittarius, is a kind of love no gift can buy. The Knight of Wands arrives in this reading like a messenger with a wink and a reminder that not all pauses are punishments. Sometimes the universe insists you sit still, not because nothing is happening, but because everything is about to happen all at once. This card is the cosmic equivalent of that moment when an archer pulls back the string, holds the arrow steady, and you can almost hear the silence quiver. It's not inactivity, it's preparation. The Knight is saying, rest now, Sagittarius, because soon you will sprint. And when you sprint, it will be in classic Sagittarian style, reckless, wholehearted, and faster than anyone expected. For job seekers, this means an offer is on the horizon. For entrepreneurs, expect a sudden flood of clients. And for creatives, your projects will ignite with the kind of momentum that makes all the late nights and questionable coffee choices worth it. You'll leap from 0 to 100 in a matter of days, and you won't even remember what it felt like to wait. The humor here is obvious. Spirit has basically put you on airplane mode. If you've been drumming your fingers asking why nothing is moving, it's because the universe handed you a nap. And let's be honest, when Sagittarius wakes from a nap, you don't stretch like other signs, you explode off the couch like you just heard someone say all expenses paid trip. Yet the next set of cards, 7 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords, 4 of Cups, acknowledges that rest is not the whole story. There is dissatisfaction brewing. This is the moment when you realize that waiting endlessly for someone else's transformation is draining the fire out of you. Sagittarians are notorious all-or-nothing lovers. You'll give your entire heart, but if energy stagnates, the wild horse inside you starts pawing at the ground, ready to break free. The 2 of Swords tells us a choice is approaching. Not necessarily a permanent goodbye, but a pause with purpose. It's the moment where you say, I'm stepping back. If you can meet me halfway, wonderful. If not, I'll find my joy elsewhere. This is not immaturity or escapism. This is what maturity looks like when filtered through Sagittarius fire, refusing to carry dead weight and insisting that love, like adventure, must be alive and moving. And here's the truth wrapped in humor: love is never forced. If you have to drag it along, it's not love, it's a suitcase with broken wheels, and Sagittarians don't do baggage claim. Then we arrive at the 4 of Wands, and here the music changes. Bells, ceremonies, laughter echoing across rooms filled with family and friends. Some Sagittarians will hear actual wedding bells, either your own or an invitation to someone else's. Engagements, proposals, moving in together commitments are arriving more quickly than you think. And if it isn't a romantic union, then it's a miracle at home in another form. A family conflict dissolves. A household once heavy with tension breathes with joy. Your private sanctuary becomes the site of blessing. This is where the language of destiny comes into play. This is where the phrase chosen ones comes alive. Sagittarius, in the year of triumph 2025, you're not only chosen for your personal victories, you're chosen to be the torchbearer for your family. You are the one who shifts generational stories, who turns cycles of struggle into legacies of growth. The miracle isn't just about finding the right partner or signing the right contract. It's about your entire household being lifted into a higher vibration. You are not merely transforming yourself, you are transforming the soil in which your roots grow. And so, as the Knight of Wands pauses, as dissatisfaction demands honesty, and as bells of celebration prepare to ring, you stand at the center of something rare. Not just a season of love or luck, but a chapter in which Spirit calls you to rest, to choose wisely, and to embrace miracles that ripple far beyond your own story. And if that feels too heavy, remember this: sometimes enlightenment looks like deep philosophy, and sometimes it looks like laughing with your family in a home that finally feels at peace. Either way, Sagittarius, the miracle is real, and it has your name on it. The final movement of your September reading speaks to dreams, rest, and the quiet ways the universe slips messages into your consciousness when you're too busy or too stubborn to listen while awake. The Four of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Three of Wands, and Seven of Cups combine like a cosmic reminder that sleep is not laziness, it is strategy. Your subconscious is essentially running a second job at night, sending you emails from the divine. The trouble is, most of us forget to check that inbox in the morning. Sagittarians in particular often leap out of bed ready to conquer the day, rarely pausing to remember the dream in which the universe casually revealed your next big move. Don't dismiss the scenes that show up in your sleep: new jobs, journeys to foreign countries, or visions of unfamiliar homes. These are not random. They are road signs, and ignoring them would be like tossing out a winning lottery ticket because the numbers looked too neat. Meditation, rest, and visualization are your tools this month. The Three of Wands reminds you that imagination is not just fantasy, it is rehearsal. If you can picture it clearly enough, you give it a place to land in the physical world. Sagittarians are natural visionaries. Your danger is not that you dream too little, but that you dream so much you forget to lace up your boots. Daydreaming without action is like booking a ticket and never packing the suitcase. But in September, your visions come with fuel. The divine is saying, imagine boldly, but also take one step each day toward the vision. And yes, synchronicity is buzzing around you like fireflies at twilight. Numbers such as 1, 11, 21, and 31 are highlighted. When they appear on receipts, license plates, or appointment times, don't laugh it off as coincidence. These are taps on the shoulder from the cosmos, the universe's way of saying, yes, Sagittarius, you're on the right road. Keep going. Think of it like a cosmic GPS that only speaks in numbers and nudges. Then we come to the Ace of Wands, and here the energy shifts from rest to ignition. If the Four of Swords was the nap, the Ace of Wands is the alarm clock, but not the kind that makes you groan. This is the wake-up call that says, freedom is here. Get up and claim it. The Ace of Wands is classic Sagittarian spirit in action. Don't fence me in, don't tell me it can't be done. Don't hand me a rulebook and expect me not to doodle on the margins. This is about reclaiming power. For some, that means debts finally being cleared, health returning, or financial independence hard-won through years of effort. For others, it means simply walking away from what no longer serves you and having the audacity to live with joy again. It is also the rekindling of creative fire. This is you picking up the paintbrush, the guitar, the running shoes, or simply the laughter you forgot you had. You are not waiting anymore. You are living. And here is where the humor kicks in. Imagine Spirit handing you a giant cosmic matchstick and saying, here, Sag. Light it up. And what do? Probably start fireworks, roast marshmallows, and launch a philosophical debate about Nietzsche and free will under the stars. That's Sagittarius in a nutshell: unstoppable, playful, and wise all at once. Closing this reading, I cannot tell you that September will feel like a calm lake. It will feel like a rushing river, wild, alive, carrying you toward freedom, abundance, and yes, a miracle within your home. You are stepping into your role as one of the chosen ones. Not in some grand, ego-driven sense, but chosen by spirit to embody authenticity, to inspire others by example, and to remind your circle that joy is not an accessory but a necessity. And in the year of triumph 2025, this is the moment you rise. Negotiations will turn in your favor. Relationships will demand the clarity they deserve. Dreams will serve as maps. And your home, your sanctuary, will be filled with blessings that ripple outward to those you love. Rest when you must, move when called, and celebrate without hesitation. This is your season, Sagittarius. If this resonates, don't just nod quietly. Sagittarians are born storytellers. Share your tale in the comments, where you're moving, what miracle you're manifesting, or what freedom you're reclaiming. And if you're new here, subscribe to Zodiac Talks Tarot so you don't miss the wisdom that the stars, and perhaps even your dreams, are pouring into your life right now.